both of us are remote, well, especially me, because I'm clearly not home. Preacher's in his man cave and he doesn't want to come out. So for today's special topic, Flagrant decided to release their pod. Finally, the Akash files are being released, and here we go. We got a little...
Tonight on Flagrant, the truth will be revealed. Marriages will be shattered. Friendships destroyed. Nothing will be the same again. Our guest, once a beloved comedian, has spent the last couple weeks being destroyed, disrespected. Brother, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us what's been on your mind,
Dude,
what's been on your heart.
I'm so glad you asked me, man. It's been really hard for me.
Hard for you?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Jocelyn Singh is in the building. She wants vengeance. Security is here. Security is stopping her. The police.
You kind of have an idea. All right, well, shout out. They put in some effort. They hired some midgets and put on a show. So good for them.
Poppin' pussy.
Yeah, let's just get some definition.
Okay.
We're gonna any terms that you might need to know the actual meaning of. Alex is here to break it down.
I thought it was just like dancing, getting dressed up, and maybe that was my mistake. That was my bad. That was my bad.
That was your bad.
Allegedly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
Is it true that you said that there was a rotation of guys?
A roster.
Roster.
Yeah, what does a roster mean to you?
What does this mean?
You guys have to understand, have you ever heard of the repressed Catholic schoolgirl? The repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
But
What does a roster mean?
so it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like two guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant
mean
fucking.
hooking up, I just meant making out. Again, like everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so...
Well, yo, this defense is funny, bro. And you can tell this is all pre-planned because they all prepped the questions to address the main point. So this is not like a off-the-cuff interview. She knew all the questions. And her saying hooking up just meant... What did she say? Just like making out? They're like, why do you have stories of dudes eating you out on your period?
Because when I was in college, I dated this guy. You know, he didn't want to fool around when I was on like the heaviest days of my period. Okay, totally understandable. I get that. And I was like, oh, great. Good news. My period ended. Like, we can like have fun tonight, blah, blah. And he was going down on me. Looking around down there, like, more blood can sometimes come out even if your period is over. Like,
Is that just making out? What, is he making out with her pussy? That's a common occurrence. All I'm trying to say is she has enough stories about sucking D and all this stuff, and now she's on this pod saying I was just making out with people. It's like, well, bitch, why do you... These like just unnecessary lies where we have videos of what you said before. So now I'm just looking at this like, okay, whatever.
Everything I say is so amplified and hyperbolic because it's so like incongruous to who I actually am as a person.
Right. So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah, literally.
And so no real roster.
Yes.
Because what a roster is, what is a roster?
Everything I'm saying is amplified, and no, you're using terms that you don't know what they mean as you say. A roster is... It's a lot of people. When I heard roster was like sports, that's the roster. That's the roster of that team. You know what I mean? Hooking up. It's just like, just kissing. No, it's not. And she's what, 31, 32, 32? You don't know what these words mean? Girl.
She had a roster of dudes. She was popping pussy. And she was hooking up, and they were eating her out on her period, and she was a virgin, and it was just kissing.
Do you consider yourself a good gold digger?
Yeah. Because I invested low and waited for it to go high.
You're a gold prospect.
Yeah, that's not a gold digger.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're like a, what is that? You're like a hedge fund manager.
Yeah, you're like Akash with Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like,
She bought much lower than I did.
I just like loved everything about it. So I was like, okay, like I don't want to just leave because we're going through a hard time, because I really believed in like his potential, like just like you did.
For sure.
You know,
It's funny to watch because if you don't tell these lies, none of it really matters. But it's like the feeling, the need to lie about it is what always makes all of this like more like.
I wanted to tell the story of how me and Akash met 2015. Courtney says to Manu, like, oh, there's like this funny, like, Punjabi comic. You know, he's on this podcast and he's really funny. Like, you should check it out. And my sister kind of became like a fan of his. It was like so in the nascent stage of his career. Like, he had just gotten Wildin' Out. I think just got Guy Code and stuff too.
Because I was on these MTV shows, and what I didn't count on is all of them being taken away at 1 year. Because maybe they just looked at me and they were like, he's old? I don't know. But I had like 7 MTV shows. I wasn't making crazy money. I was making like low 6 figures. But my girlfriend at the time, she moved into our place, and then all of a sudden, end of 2017, all the shows started suddenly getting canceled one by one.
Like, lady, you met him. It's because your sister told you that she thought he was really funny back in 2015, 2016. He was already on television doing Wildin' Out. He was already doing a bunch of MTV shows. Even him going like, yo, you know, she was prospecting. It's like, you admitted you were making low 6 figures in 2015. Like, why are we pretending like you're not a top 1%er? There's no doubt a regular person is going to look at somebody making low 6 figures on television and go, wow, that's a catch. No, you didn't. And now you feed into this narrative that these guys have of you being a gold digger. And because you're also being deceptive about it. And because you're lying, it gives them more credence.
I invested low and waited for it to go high.
You're a gold prospect.
There's one thing that we have to talk about is the fact that they said something that actually defeats the purpose of the point that she's trying to make. She's trying to make, hey, I aim low. Like, I'm not a gold digger. I aim low. I aim low. I'm good. Like, I'm not a gold digger. I aim low when he was in this. And low, the threshold of low to that person is low 6 figures. Low 6 figures is 200,000 and under. Mid is 500,000. Over is high. Low 6 figure is not low. If your threshold to even date someone is 6 figure, girl.
You know what I said in the other video? I said, just because there's a lot more women who dig for more gold doesn't mean that you're not a gold digger. Just because someone else's low is 1 million, like, lady, you're still talking about the top 10, top 1% of men that you dated that you really believe was going to make more. Just because you saw some potential in someone who's already wealthy doesn't make you not a gold digger. It's crazy to watch how income has changed.
When people saw me at my potential, I was not doing low 6 figures. I can tell you that much. I could at least tell you that.
Yeah.
When people looked at me and said, he got potential, yo, I didn't have nothing but $1 on my name.
That's crazy. That's so facts, because her idea of potential is a lot of people's endpoint.
You know what I mean, though?
Tell us about the duck. Do you always duck his kisses when there are not people around?
No, not when there aren't people around, just when there are people around. And I never even knew.
That's worse.
I didn't
Explain
know.
yourself.
I didn't know that I
Tell
did
us
that.
why.
I didn't know that I did that. So I really sat and thought about it. So I think it's a few things. I think it's like.
She said she didn't know she did that. And I went, wait a minute. Didn't you just do a video where you said you guys were working through that to figure out what's wrong with y'all?
And then I'll also respond to the people saying I don't like my husband because I turned away from a kiss. I've never liked PDA, physical touch. I find it really overstimulating. And so it's something I actually work through with my husband because that's his love language. And
So she's never liked PDA. She's never liked this kind of stuff. It's something she worked through, but she didn't know she did that. Okay. Whatever you want, bro.
With my husband because that's his love language. And I feel like for him, he tries to do physical touch to regulate his emotions, and I find it really dysregulating. So it's something we kind of work through in high stress situations because I get overstimulated when a lot of things are happening, and like my mother-in-law is there, my mom is there, and Akash will tend to kiss me when there's a lot of people around, and sometimes I'm overstimulated, so I'm just like, oh.
I didn't know that I was doing that. You didn't know that you were doing that. So they've been together for what, 10 years or such?
Yep.
So I didn't know I was always, so you've always been doing that? So you've been doing that for 10 years and nowhere in the relationship has that person spoke to you about it? It won't take 10 years. Something's going to come out. In your dating stages, something is going to come out. Yo, what's, are you good? Am I? It's going to make me feel something. Is there something wrong with me? Like, you're always judging that. Either for people that communicate, it's going to come out really quick. For people that don't communicate, it's going to come out really quick, but in the version of passive aggressiveness. It's going to come out.
Maybe it's like the repressed Indian girl thing where it's like I get a little bashful. I do get a little shy despite what the internet thinks.
Most Indians do. I'm the exception.
Yeah, I think I also get...
I'll be honest with you, Akash. The stereotype about Indians is not that they get shy about kissing or sexual stuff. I'm just saying, there's many stereotypes about Indians. Some of them stink, some of them don't. That ain't one of them. Okay? But I digress. I think the stereotype about Indian men is that they're inappropriately aggressive. But
Akash does it a lot. Like every 30 seconds. Like a little bit.
For you.
Yeah, it like regulates him, but it kind of overstimulates me. And
Look,
like the videos people have seen are like the proposal.
yeah, I'm so overstimulated. Guys, look at this fucking ring. Look how many carrots. Fuck. Yo, give me my dog. Yo, look at this fucking ring, guys. Nah, bro. I'm sorry.
Videos, they're like already overstimulating.
Okay, so here's the thing that I think is like very I think the relatable thing is not wanting to make out with your partner in front of your entire family.
Yeah.
And then
we
go back to doing
never saw our parents kissing ever. So it's like so foreign to us.
This is an interesting thing that a lot of the internet might not understand.
Yeah.
But it's like your family, your parents were not like romantically in love at all. So yeah,
these guys acting. That's super. Yeah, we have a little epiphany. Oh yeah, something that the internet might not consider that. You guys grew up in an immigrant household. Like, it's interesting. It's like, oh yeah, I grew up in this household, and so it's all repressive. And then she's popping her pussy online and talking about like getting head and all this stuff. So like in some ways, it's like hyper traditional. Like the most like you could never talk. Like 90% of what she did, you would never have happened in a family that was remotely traditional. And no, right? That's like you don't talk about this stuff publicly and be so openly sexual. But then afterwards, when it's convenient, it was like, well, the repression.
See, I have a problem with this narrative where, oh yeah, my parents. You're not just raised by your parents, okay? You got other influences. Whenever you go to school, it's not, no, but my parents told me that not to do that and not to look at them and not to... You have friends. They tell you about their experiences, and then you have all of that. You have TV. You have internet. She's 31. You grew up with internet.
Didn't her Indian mom teach her how to pop her pussy?
No, that was not her Indian mom. That was probably the girls at school. You know what I mean? If you pop your pussy, you didn't hear that from your mom. You heard that somewhere else. Got the wrong definition, but it's not your mom or your dad that told you that. They're not in a living relationship. It doesn't matter. You watched the Gossip Girl in a green room when you didn't ask permission. You got information from that episode. You got TV. I'm sorry. No. I don't buy this thing where my parents was so all the people that do not have two parents, single household, they never seen their parents kiss, so they don't have the reference. Oh, my dad was not at home, so I never kissed. I never seen a woman being kissed. So I don't kiss my girl. No, they kiss. Sometimes they repeat the thing where if their mother was a teen mom, sometimes they're gonna repeat the cycle. They were not in the room while their mom was getting, you know what I'm getting.
Can we settle something for the internet?
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
Will you kiss Akash right now?
I don't even know if I want to see
On
it.
the lips.
Okay, prove everybody wrong.
But it's gonna mess like
Bring that ass over here. Bring that ass over here.
But can I just say there's so
Yes,
many
tell us.
TikToks where I talk so positively about him. And
Yeah, but
like,
why that doesn't go viral?
Yeah, that's
Positively
boring.
talking about people.
well, yeah, but
kinda
I
gay.
was just saying, I like found so many TikToks where I was saying so many amazing, uplifting things, but they didn't grab onto that.
The internet will never reward positivity.
Yeah, that's true.
Lesson learned.
Let's say she's like, my husband's awesome. I don't think anybody on the internet's gonna care. Same way if a bus driver tells me I drive a bus. Because at the end of the day, you married him, I assume you like him. And if you said to about your husband on a like equal playing field, I don't really like my husband. I don't even think most people are gonna care either. But when you go, I'm gonna make you sign a prenup, but I would never sign a prenup if I made lots of money, now you're going into a different territory. And I'm sure if you did something nice for your husband, to that degree on the opposite end, I'm sure people would probably latch onto it. But just engaging in the normal realm of stuff, no one gives a fuck. I walked my husband's dog. I'm not a great one. Nobody's gonna give a fuck, bitch. That's nothing. But how many women talk about how the fact that they baked 100 cookies for my husband and his friends, and that shit goes viral all the time. So she's like, why want my pot? Because you don't really do anything that's crazy. Loving for him, and that's okay. No one's expecting you, but you take extra effort to shit on him in the worst way, so that's why it goes viral. And on top of that, he's talked about how amazing his relationship is and how much of a good girl you are. And the contrast between what the fuck he said and how you behave is what's making people go, wait, what? And on top of that, he's been judgmental of other people's dynamics when his is just as weird. So that's why it goes viral. It's not because your positivity isn't a thing. It's because who you present yourself on online is so incongruent with how he presents you and how a typical relationship would ever look.
Bruh, the orgy thing was fucking, a lot of people, myself included, like I saw that and I was like, why would she even joke around about that?
I think I learned so much of my humor from Akash, not to like justify it, but just to explain like, oh, if I say these absurd things, it's so funny because it's not who I actually am.
And if she wasn't, that body count thing, I'd be like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Because I would have been insecure about it. But I can be, not that I'm so secure, but with that joke, I'm like so secure.
Oh, I absolutely would feel insecure.
And I think stupidly, I was like, oh, it's an orgy, so it's all of us. It's not like talking.
Yeah, that is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Akash says, you know, the fact that she was a virgin when we met is what makes me comfortable with this. If she wasn't, I wouldn't be comfortable with it. Which, okay.
The thing is that I don't really care if she is or if she was. It matters to them. It matters because it's a thing for family and stuff like that and culture. I get that. You knowing it matters to everybody around you is weird that you're saying all those things after that. You didn't think about that? Oh, yeah, right. You didn't know that that's what it meant. Getting eaten out and stuff like that. All that is super weird. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about it and I'm just like, yo, it's outlandish what she's saying. Anyways, that being said, coconuts and Barbados. If I have to
Can we just sit with that though? Like, okay, if I told a dude who's like, yo, it's really important my wife is a virgin, I'm like, fantastic. All she's done is sucked 100 dicks. But is she still a virgin?
She's saying it's a bit. It's not true. She's 100% a virgin. And you enter this internet game and you don't think someone's gonna see that? I was hooking up with guys. You're approved. You're not talking about I was kissing this guy and that guy and that guy and that. You're gonna keep it to yourself. Hey, there's levels to being proved, I guess. See them? You're not thinking. So it is important for you to not kiss in front of your parents. It's important. But even the word, and you're a prude, even the word, if you think dancing and you're a prude, you're not going to use pop your pussy, my girl. There's something about it that's extremely off.
There's an undertone of irritation after like day 2 where you can tell she's like, all right, let's.
I mean,
but she's
You
very,
get 2 days.
Okay, can I just say, I feel like you guys are a little bit, like you guys exaggerate a lot. And just.
What?
No.
Yeah.
Never.
And for context,
We
literally.
exaggerate.
Yes. And like.
Ridiculous.
Literally.
Oh, you think everything's wrestling? Do you think that's
Everything's
what
a
this is?
joke?
You think we're just
I'm gonna be honest with you, I find the pod so corny. It's just all the fake laughing and all the like, oh, it's like, we get it, bro. Just shut the fuck up.
that when Akash is sick, you hate taking care of him?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, do I like it? No. I would do it. But why would anyone like taking care of a sick person?
That's a good point.
I guess this pod was supposed to make her look more reasonable or decent. I don't know. You think it's working?
No.
It's like when Akash's birthday comes around.
Yeah.
I have to pretend that it's like so special, but
I
it's
don't
like
even ask for this.
the one day. Yeah, you do. The one day of the year that I have to like be totally selfless,
Oh yeah, that I
which
won't.
is really hard for me.
Yeah, that I won't.
Jocelyn, you're doing a horrible job right now. Go back in. Go back in.
Yeah. But like the whole bit thing, like do I truly believe it? No, not really. I don't. Let's say it really was a bit. Okay, so you decided to pretend to be for a plus year and a half so you can get your views and likes up. And then you got the consequences of like who embarrasses her husband for the sake of marketing. Either way, you're still a piece of shit in my eyes. Because at the end of the day, either you did it to get some notoriety and you embarrassed your husband successfully, or it is real and you embarrassed your husband successfully. I could get online and talk about how piece of shit my wife is and none of it's true. And I'm doing it to go viral. But if I do this long enough and I get that notoriety, it don't really matter because everyone's going to look at her funny. And I can't be mad at them because I was actively committed to the bit of trying to. There was no point in this that I said it was a joke. There was no point in this I said it wasn't true. I just kept going to get my views up. And then when it went mega viral and then I got consequences, then I wanted to go, it's a bit. Why should anyone believe you? You committed for so long.
So you're presenting this version of yourself online that's not true.
But you're actually a trad wife.
I was committing to this bit because I thought that was the funny thing to do. But I'm not a comedian, obviously.
You're not fooling her.
So what I said earlier, she did this for views. That's her defense. She embarrassed her husband for views. Yeah, we got to change the saying. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. No. When someone tells you who they are, it's a bit. That she's going to admit that a lot of what she said is true. So it's on you, the audience, to decipher the half-truths from the complete lies to the I didn't know what the words mean to the truth. Okay.
I guess that's what it is. I guess that's what you got to do. It's your responsibility.
We had a
Has
blast,
anybody
dude.
stopped yelling the street?
No, people haven't brought it up, so maybe out of kindness. But I asked at shows, I said, is there anybody that does not? Because I would open by being like, so my wife's a whore, huh?
Yeah.
And we'd get a laugh. And then I would say, is there anybody who doesn't know about this?
Yeah.
Because the first time I did it, it was like weird, the vibe. And then after that, I was like, who doesn't know? And so many people would clap, I'd be astonished.
Yeah. It is weird, you know. But yeah.
I mean, it's a very real thing. But outside of the internet, I don't know how many people it caught their algorithm.
Yeah, it's like if you are a person that is on the internet, this was big enough where you know about it.
Yeah.
But if you're not an internet person, it's not like it's covered on fucking CBS News or
like
something.
my best friends still have no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, they know. They just be.
They try to be nice.
Well, you
They know. There's no way they know you and they don't know. Because all their friends are probably like, you know Akash, right? You seen this shit? Someone's sending that to somebody. The biggest thing that happened on Flagrant since Trump.
No. We both stayed offline because we knew this wasn't going to be good to watch.
Yeah.
So we were both offline. That was the one good thing.
Isn't
that's
that
come out.
Last thing I'll say, this is my final point, is I want y'all to always remember, because the number one defense of these kinds of places, like it's a comedy podcast, it's just jokes. No, that was PR. That was not that was PR. They prepped questions for. They might have. So the comedy was the fucking cover. The goal of that podcast was 100% PR.
The comedy was,
Yes.
but it was the PR. It was the pizza. They were
Damage control.
They were presented as a comedy stuff, and they were laughing and good jabs.
So here it is.
Tonight on
18K dislikes. Oh my God. I think this might be, let me make sure I get my dislike in. This might be their most disliked podcast.
There is no way that she's using all these words that she doesn't know. Like she doesn't have a dictionary or something. You know what I mean? She's using all these words that she doesn't know. And so what her podcast is going to be about then? Content needs to happen. The bit, she's going to slip in the bit again. She's going to slip in the bit that's not a bit again. And then do that. It's going to happen. I give it 4 months. 4 months. Because now the thing that happened is that your podcast that was not so known to the public eye now is under scrutiny. People are going to watch that thing unfold. They're going to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people that watch you, they don't just watch you to like you. They watch you just exactly to hate you.
True.
So it's going to happen again. You're going to have a slip up. Something's going to happen again. It's going to blow in her face. Pause. Pun intended.
Bro, she's a virgin. That never happened.
She what?
She's a virgin. That never happened.
Well, not anymore. It's not anymore because she's married to a poodle and they kiss.
All right.